Shout out to the mailman, an unsung hero, doesn't get a lot of credit, but he came through today. Definitely wasn't expecting these to come in so early, but I'm happy I get to play my next game in these. Today, we're talking about the New Balance Kawhi IV. These are Kawhi Leonard's fourth signature sneaker with New Balance. They dropped on April 25th via the New Balance website for a retail price of $160 US. I purchased the white with true red colorway. There was also a pink colorway that dropped that same day. So yeah, we have them in hand now. Super sleek box here. Honestly, doesn't even look like sneakers are inside of this. It looks like there's business cards in here. But you do have some Kawhi branding here on the top. New Balance here on the side. You have Kawhi's number 2 right here. Also have some fuel cell branding here on the side. Now this is one of those boxes where the top comes off completely. I don't know how you guys feel about that. You can let me know in the comments. Got some Kawhi and New Balance branding here on the tissue paper in there. And boom, we've got the Kawhi 4s. Kind of smells like wet paint. But I'm digging these at first sight. I think they do look a bit minimal, which kind of goes along with Kawhi's personality. But then there's other elements of it that are kind of loud. Like it's kind of toned down here on the upper. Of course, you see this kind of aged looking, reimagined, if you will, midsole. But yeah, I'm already talking details. So let's just go ahead and dive into the details of the New Balance Kawhi 4. Up top, you have what New Balance is calling lightweight engineered mesh here on the upper. At first, I thought this was textile, but I will take New Balance's word for it. I think it looks cool, but I am worried about anything sharp catching onto this because it looks like the material could start pulling. On top of the mesh, you have some synthetic panels here at the toe box and on the lateral and medial sides. And that synthetic material has been defeated after just wearing these only once. Got them stepped on while playing, and now there's like a sound wave scuff mark on the right side. On the medial side, you have this big N New Balance logo. It's kind of subtle on this pair, a little louder on the pink one. And then that New Balance branding is really subtle on the lateral side. Just have that small N logo up here at the eye stay. And you know what? I think that's what really makes me like this shoe. Of course, I'm not huge on tons of branding all over a shoe. I don't want to be a walking billboard for any company. But on top of that, I think it opens up conversations. People have to come to you and ask what these shoes are. And I think specifically with the Kawhi 4, these kind of just look like a runner. They look like running shoes with basketball tech. Am I crazy to say that you might be able to pull these off casually? Is Kawhi Leonard the only basketball player with a signature shoe that you can actually rock off the court? Let me know if I'm losing my mind, but I think he may be onto something here. But you can see that aged foam here on the sides, on the lateral and on the medial. And I think that provides a great touch to this colorway as opposed to this foam just being white. I don't want to say reimagined, but you know. You have more of a traditional black mesh here on the tongue, which is connected to the sides of the shoe. And while this is mesh, it feels really thick, which makes you feel more contained in the shoe. Also, the sizing information is really low in there. Like you have to undo some laces to really be able to see the sizing for these. Some faux suede at the top of the tongue. It says Kawhi's name and his number, like his jersey number, not his phone number. Laces are a little flimsy though, I can't lie. These are very skinny laces. And down at the bottom, you have those Roman numerals, IV, which is 4, because this is Kawhi Leonard's 4th signature sneaker. Where does the time go? Now flipping these to the back, you have this red TPU heel counter. This part really looks dope to me and kind of supplies that futuristic feel to a shoe that otherwise is kind of just simplistic. Now there are these squishy black bubbles on the sides. I don't know exactly what these are for, but I could easily see myself becoming addicted to pushing these. In the center of that heel counter, there is some more Kawhi branding, just says his name there. And underneath that, there's some red foam that loops around on each side. And now this foam feels really interesting in comparison to that reimagined foam. This has like a canvasy feel to it. Like the canvases that artists paint on, this is kind of like a rougher texture. On the lateral side, where that red foam connects with that aged foam, you'll see a little bit of exposed carbon fiber. That's part of the energy arc plate, which we'll get to in just a moment. But I want to turn these over to the medial side again, where you can really see this next part. It may all look like one body, but underneath that red foam with the canvas feel, you can see another set of red foam, and it's a little more squishy, a little more plush, and it says fuel cell. So they have that fuel cell foam bedding underneath that red canvas foam, kind of a dual density foam setup inside of the shoe. And I will say, after playing in these, it is a pretty comfy setup. Should be great for impact and keeping Kawhi Leonard on the court. But yeah, on the collar, you have a little bit of padding. I know that was a big issue for me on the Kawhi IV, like a board slapping against your ankle. Just no meat there. Now on the 4, it's not like it's a lot of padding in that area, but it is something. And then on the interior, you have these standard inserts. On one side, it says Kawhi V4. What's the V stand for? And then on the other side, it just says New Balance. Anyway, turning these over to the outsole, pulling in that translucent element from the Kawhi 3s at the forefoot. You can see on the 3 how that whole sole was translucent. But here on the 4s, they've converted that traction pattern to just straight up horizontal lines, kind of curved. I did feel like traction in the Kawhi 3s was pretty solid. However, I feel like they've found ways to improve on that system with what they're doing here in the Kawhi 4s. As I mentioned before, you have that energy arc kind of hiding away there in the middle, and you see a little bit of that exposed fuel cell foam around it as well. And then at the rear, you have that black rubber with more horizontal lines, and in the middle, there's that New Balance logo, and that is the Kawhi 4. Now, in regard to sizing, I would recommend going true to size. When you go on the New Balance website, if you're a wide footer, you also have an option to purchase a wide foot edition of these. So that's really cool that New Balance is offering a standard and wide foot. All in all, I'm not mad at this shoe. I think I'm more interested in the potential of this being featured as a runner, like you pairing these with some baggy pants hanging over. I think they would look dope. As a basketball shoe, I don't think people are going to be amazed seeing you put these on the court, but I think you wearing them will feel really good in them, and that should transition into playing well. I mean, they look decent. They're just not very loud, right? But I do appreciate the tweaks that New Balance has made from the Kawhi 3 to this to really just make it a more enjoyable shoe to wear. I mean, you do still have a lot of synthetic material for a shoe that is $160. Any way that you cut it, $160 is a lot of money to pay for shoes. And if you're talking about a performance shoe that you wear a couple of hours out of select days in the week, $160 is a lot. So maybe you'd want to see them do away with the synthetics, but maybe that's what Kawhi likes on his shoes. And even still, I think this has better traction than the previous model. You have a great bite, loud squeak for the people that appreciate that. I think New Balance found a great way to transition from one sneaker to the next. And like I said before, I think they're very minimal, but all of that kind of plays into storytelling. I think these match Kawhi Leonard's personality more so than some of the shoes that we've seen for him in the past. This seems like a Kawhi Leonard shoe. So kudos to New Balance on the storytelling. Overall, I am a fan of these shoes. I enjoyed playing in them, and I think a lot of you will enjoy playing in them as well. Maybe these aren't as flashy as some of the basketball shoes that I typically gravitate towards, but they still do everything that a basketball shoe needs to do performance-wise. So yeah, let me know what y'all think of the New Balance Kawhi 4. Are you looking to cop these? Maybe you like a different colorway. Are you looking at the pink ones? Do you like some of the other colorways that Kawhi has been wearing? Let me know all of that below. Thank y'all for taking the time to watch this review. I really do appreciate it. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and if you made it to this point in the video, comment Roadman Kawhi. Thanks again for watching, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.